Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is feeling well. Okay. This is the Encounter Radio Show with Misfits Radio. For those of you who can see, and of course for those who can't see, I'm KiKi. Jay is not here. My brother's not here as of right now. He'll be in a bit later. But we're just wishing everybody a happy holiday, safe travels for those coming in town for the new year and leaving from Christmas. And we just hope everybody's doing well. Because he's not here, obviously I'm going to be doing a lot of talking.
It's the KiKi takeover.
Y'all get to hear me talk. I told DJ Lab, I said, oh, Slick is going to love this. So I'm going to try not to make it awkward, and y'all get to hear me talk about what I want to talk about. And I've decided to take the easy way out and talk about something obvious during this time of year, which is a new year, a new you, huh? During this time of year, people like to, set goals and talk about what they taking and not taking into the new year, and, who they keeping, who they not keeping, what they going to do different, what they going to start. So I just want to kind of help you, help you set some guidelines and point you in the right direction for where you're going. So resolutions, everybody tired of it because we set resolutions and goals. Like, for instance, the biggest one that we like talk about is changing our eating habits and going to the gym, right? And they say by February 1st, the gym back empty because ain't nobody going in there. And I think because when we set goals and it feels good, I'm going to start, but we don't make the effort to really go and do what we said we were going to do. And I pulled up the definition of effort, which is a vigorous or determined attempt. You have to make the attempt and be determined that I'm going to do it. And speaking of gym, I was in the gym as consistently as I could be this year. And one of the last things me and my trainer were talking about, I said, you need to be a little nicer to me and motivate me. Because he was like, come on, let's get it. You've been here too long. Let's get it. And I said, you need to motivate me. Maybe if you talk nice, I'll be more inclined to do it. And he said, I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm trying to build discipline.
Right.
He said, because you're not always going to be motivated. But if you're disciplined, you're going to do it anyway and get it done. So going into the new year, we need to be more disciplined and say, I might not feel like doing it right now, or I might not feel good right now, but I'm going to get it done. And so what I find is it's easier to start with the little things, so we have goals that we want to set, whether it's going back to school, getting a car, budgeting, keeping our finances together, raising our credit score, those kind of things. I want a house. I want to start a family. I want to do all these big things. And we get frustrated when we're not checking these things off our list. If you're anything like me, I have stuff that I have set on, and it feels good being able to check stuff off. Sometimes you're not always going to be able to check the big things off because we can't handle and finish those little things on the list. So if you can't see yourself making your bed every day or washing the dishes, it's kind of hard for me to see myself going to school and finishing a degree, and I can't even get those little things done. Or at the very least, I may not have my degree right now, but I'm washing dishes and I'm making my bed every day. So just, starting with the little things and letting it build up to accomplishing the greater things on your list. Yes, that makes sense?
Yes, it does. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm being disciplined over here to do something.
Oh, you did? So,
I get it.
And when you put things on your list, you have to be realistic. Part of those little things is preparing you, or is preparation for the bigger things. Like, for instance, when I mentioned credit score and I mentioned budgeting, you can't put a new house on your list and you can't budget your money and you don't have the credit score to be getting in a new crib.
That
makes sense.
That makes very good sense.
And speaking of crib, I'm a leeway into children. Don't be happy. Let me tell you something. Okay. Don't be having no kids, knowing full well that now is not the time and the person that you with ain't where it's at. Okay?
That's 2019. That's a goal for 2019, right? Don't just be having kids all willy-nilly with the wrong folks. There you have it. Don't be having baby daddies and baby mamas. Have something other than that for 2019, right?
Yeah, I'm tired. And they I'm on Facebook, and there's a lot of posts that were talking about how 2018, they said that didn't knock me out, but she sure had hands.
Oh, okay.
So, and then they had a picture of a disheveled wig. It said if 2018 was a wig. So for a lot of people, 2018 was about some lessons and going through some stuff. But at the same time, remembering, I saw a lot of people welcoming bundles of joy and getting married and getting degrees. And so congratulations to everybody. So it was some good and some bad in the year. So some people like, oh, Lord, here come 2019. And some people excited like, woo, 2019. And so they said you don't see a lot of people talking about 2019 my year, because 2018 humbled everybody.
Was tough, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's all in perspective. Like you were saying, that thing about being motivated and being disciplined. I'm not very good at motivating myself. I'll talk myself out of something real quick. But I'm disciplined enough to get up and do it anyway, because I know it has to be done. Yep. So I try to find motivation, but I believe my motivation has left me. So I don't even look for it no more. I think it's packed up, went on ahead, moved over to somebody else, because I don't have any. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the fact of the discipline myself to know that I have to do the podcast, I have to do these shows and go to work and all that stuff in order to make, go to work in order to get funds to help fund this and do that, I probably wouldn't. But I'm disciplined enough to do it. If I had to rely just on motivation, it would be done.
I have yet to see someone who was motivated 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. So, one, as you set new goals and keeping your prior engagements and responsibilities that you have, understanding why you do what you do. That'll help not just with motivation, but your discipline as well. If I go back to, again, something that people can relate to. If I want to lose weight, I don't always want to eat no spinach. Don't nobody. I'm not Popeye, okay? Nobody wants to just eat spinach and egg whites and lean meat. And no, I like donuts and cheesecake and fried chicken and everything else that you are not supposed to have when you're trying to lose weight. But understanding that, again, like I was saying last Sunday, your outcome is dependent on what you put in. So you rarely get something out that you have not put in. It's like a vending machine. Now, unless it's broke, on the rare occasion that you're blessed enough to walk by a broke vending machine, unless you put money into it or something in, you're not going to get what you want out of it. And so while I might not be motivated or necessarily want to get up and eat breakfast at this time and eat something that I might not necessarily have a taste for, understanding and being disciplined enough to say, I need to lose this amount of pounds and this is how I get there, it'll help me remember I should do it. So that goes for everything. School, I'm not going to say nobody, because in actuality, I like to study, but few people actually like to sit down and study. Take time away from stuff you might want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I know I want to pass this test. I know I need this amount of credits for me to get this degree. So taking that time to do and being disciplined enough to actually sit and do things that you may not necessarily want in order to get what you do want. So that's the difference.
Okay, I get it. I get it. I understand that. So basically, you just have to know that in your, as far as motivation, that it probably won't be there all the time, but you have to know that in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish, you have to do some things that you might not want to do every day. Basically, right? That what we talking about?
That what we talking about.
All right. 2019, y'all need to know this for 2019, because there's a lot of y'all who start stuff and don't finish it, and y'all be like, I'm not motivated anymore, or so like Kiki saying, it's not the motivation, it's your discipline. Ooh, that hurt, don't it?
Yeah, I'm sitting
You're
here
not disciplined
thinking,
enough.
I'm sitting here thinking like I probably could have lost a few more pounds if I ain't eat them donuts. Every time we go to Walmart, my mama, she loves the raspberry filled donuts. And we finally found them. They usually don't have them outside of Krispy Kreme in our area, but we finally found them. And she was starting to, she was doing good. I said, Mama, you got to get them. You got to get them. And she got them. I looked up and half the thing was gone. I said, Mama, we were supposed to be splitting this. She said, no, I don't remember. That was you. I said, no, you know that was you. I didn't eat those. I had one, and it was a box of like 8. I ended up with like 2 or 3 of them.
Right. So
and she don't know where they went. So needless to say, maybe I ain't going to point them out next time. Or if I do, I'm going to hide them.
Right.
Yeah.
There you have it. But like you saying, we have to set realistic goals. We have to be realistic in the things that we want to accomplish and know that sometimes you just have to take baby steps. You know, if you like raspberry filled donuts, and you know, you have to know that maybe you shouldn't eat 4, just maybe eat 3, and it's a process. Then once the 3, then maybe next time eat 2. You know, you're not gonna just everybody. I think everybody has. That's why they don't accomplish anything. It's because they set the goals and they just think everything's just supposed to just happen.
Just happen.
You know, you say, I don't want to eat any donuts anymore, so you just stop eating them. Well, you know you're addicted to donuts. You know you're addicted to sugar, so you got to wane yourself off of that stuff. And then you got to give yourself room to fail and learn from it, too. You can't just say, I'm going to stop doing something, then stop doing it, or you start progressing and not doing it, and then you fall back and do it again, and then you just collapse and everything stops. Because it's life, man. A lot of times life, sometimes them raspberry filled donuts is what bring you happiness today. You like, man, I had a rough day. Oh, I'm gonna go eat one of these raspberry donuts.
I need 3.
I need 3.
I need 3.
But you know, the next tomorrow you got to work to get that 3 off, or you got to work a little bit harder. Maybe you stay at the gym an extra 30 minutes because you had them 3 donuts or something. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. Everything's not gonna happen right away.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly.
Slow and steady wins the race. You see people, it look like they just going. Mm-hmm. They going. They doing good. And the next thing you know, boop.
Yeah, they collapse.
Because you'll burn yourself out.
Yeah.
And some people are blessed, they keep going and they keep going. But you have to remember, at some point, you're going to fail because nobody's perfect. Right. And part of setting goals and New Year, New You is knowing that there are some things that you have to work on within yourself. Because sometimes you can hinder yourself from getting where you need to go. Well, we say this all the time. It ain't always the other person.
That's true.
At some point, it has got to be you.
Sometimes got to be you.
You mean to tell me all 15 of these people was wrong? And you just somewhere between probably the second and third person, it was you along the way. So when you reflect, and it doesn't have to be everybody like posting their reflections. Sometimes just taking time to yourself and saying, I've noticed this about me. I've noticed, and if you know that you're one of those people and you don't see no wrong with what you do, you have to ask. I have to go to Jay a lot and say, Jay, was I wrong? Is there something wrong with me and sometimes he be like, well, baby, you should have just, or now you know. And sometimes he be like, nah, you weren't wrong. I said, I know, I knew it.
Couldn't have been.
I knew it. I'm a little, but I ain't that crazy. And so just, whether it's, for me, time management, I don't always manage my time and my resources as efficiently as I could. And one thing we all know is time is something that you cannot get back. So I'm probably sit down and make me a color-coded schedule with the blocks and the stickers and and the little highlighters, right. Keep it cute. So I want to go look at it. And just learning what works for you. A phone. Everybody, for the most part, has a phone. You have calendars. It's so many things, that we have that we don't utilize. I had to put the other day something about rescheduling with the show. Now, had I just put it in my phone in the first place, I would have remembered. Yeah. Setting alarms. I got like 15 alarms. Yeah. Cause for certain days. Now, they don't use all the time, but then some people may not realize this. On iPhone, you could set this alarm for this, and this day. You could set this alarm for every day. You could set this alarm just for the weekends. Mm-hmm. So just learning to manage your time and asking for help if you can't do it yourself. That's why I'm here to help you. So like I said, for me, it's time management and resource management. Budgeting. A lot of people need help with budgeting. They say the easiest way to do it is what? Write down, this is your bills and how much it costs. This how much you make on this, and this. And now if it don't add up, something gotta go. My mom and my grandma, they love saying, you don't need that phone. You need to go on down to Cricket or Metro PCS and get you a this phone. And I'd be like, no, I don't. Until them bills come, then I'd be like, I might need to go to Metro PCS or Cricket and get this kind of phone. But and then making sacrifices. Sometimes to get what you want and where you want to be, you have to sacrifice. So if me, not doing my nails all the time or always getting my feet done, if that means I got to go without a piece of eyelash on my eye or, without certain things that I don't need in order to get something that I really do want, then those are sacrifices that we have to make. When you also go into the new year and looking at yourself, you have to remember not everything about you, because while some people see all the good in themselves and no bad, I feel like some of us can be hard on ourselves. And so just understanding, writing and looking at both what you're good at and what you can, work on, so your strengths and your weaknesses. And sometimes your strengths will help cultivate and, you can use those areas to help work on your weaknesses. I'm good at numbers, but I'm bad at time. Yeah, how? We're not going to talk about it. But, because I'm good, I can sit down and say, all right, it's 24 hours in a day. I need this for sleep. Boom. That's 8 hours gone. 8 to 12, it depends on how I feel. But it's this amount of gone. I have this much left. I need to spend this amount of time on this amount of time on that. And then once I make that schedule, effort, a determined and vigorous attempt to actually keep the schedule that I made. And so, but also knowing I did good with X, Y, and Z this year. So while I might not have always managed my resources properly, I stuck in the gym. I made the changes in my eating that I should have. I've noticed that health-wise, I'm doing this, and this. So doing a complete evaluation of yourself helps you be able to move forward. And like people always say, you can't change other people. You can only change and control yourself. And so it's not always the action, it's the reaction. Yes. And so just controlling as much and doing as much as you can do moving forward will help make the difference. And so, like we talked about, Papa told me to bless you niggas and send y'all on y'all way. If I know that there's something moving forward that is hindering me from, I'm going to have to bless you and send you on your way. And I just respect, see, I don't get people like I used to get them. God bless you. And you better let God bless you when I told him to. Because if you stay, that means you want me to do it. Right. And you ain't going to like it. And so being aware of your space, your time, your energy, as like people say, your vibes. Like I said, you have a financial space, you have a spiritual space, you have a physical space, you have a mental space, you have an emotional space. And when you allow those things to get polluted, that's when stuff start getting kind of, wrong. So taking the time to really clean that, budgeting for financial, emotionally, dealing with closure and cycles like, we've been talking about for the past few months, stuff like that. Mentally, knowledge and wisdom are things that can take you very far. What do I want to learn? What have I learned, and how can I make it applicable to what I'm doing? That makes sense? It does. Read. Some people, it doesn't always have to be math. It doesn't always have to be science. What do you like to do? What do you like to take up? Sometimes I need something that I enjoy in order for me to get, that relief from things. So we know there's always going to be something to happen that we don't like. Very rarely, and I mean very rarely, do things go exactly as we want. Right. Why? Because again, you can only control you. So knowing that, and knowing that there are going to be times, like we said, I don't feel motivated. I don't even want to be disciplined. Why am I doing this? Such and such said this. I don't know what's wrong with them. I've tried my best and I can't see how to do it. Having those things that you like to do. Something as simple as stress coloring, which is where you color those intricate pieces. With all the colors, you feel better. For me, it's YouTube videos. Okay. No, seriously, I like watching the artists. See, I'm not good at drawing or painting. But watching other people do it is so satisfying. Those videos where they cut the soap. Oh, that's just so amazing. Cut the soap? They have it's the sound that it makes. And so they slice the soap vertically and horizontally, and then they just scrape it off into little blocks. Oh, y'all gotta watch it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. The slime. I cannot stand slime because it's sticky and it just, I can't stand it in person. But I'll watch a video if they got the right stuff. The mixing of the sand. Oh, they got the sand videos. You watching YouTube with the different colors, and then they mix it and then they reverse it to show how after it's mixed, how it was all separated. Find, you see, I'm happy right now. Find what you like. They got wood cut. They got some videos. I'm gonna make a list. Had DJ posted on DJ Lab post on the website so y'all can find. Just find it. If you like to sing, but you're not trying to do it, go to karaoke. Get your friends. Go to karaoke. Find something that makes you happy. That is a release of negativity for you. You have to have something that helps your quote happy place, that gets you in the place, to really relax you and bring you back to the center so that you can continue to do what it is that you set out to do. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Tell them one more again so they can understand how people are back.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So sometimes, being spontaneous is nice and all, but you can't live your whole life spontaneously. Well, I mean, you can. I just don't think it'll go.
How successful will it be? Right?
Yeah, I don't think you'll go too far. I don't think you'll go too far, because with all the outside variables, something not gonna go right.
Something bound to fail.
And again, balance. For the people who plan everything, you need to be a little spontaneous every now and then, and understand it's not gonna always go how you want it to go in your little schedule. I said I was gonna be one of those moms that have the big empty calendar on the wall for my kids' activities, after school, tutorings, and stuff like that. And the more I think about it, it don't make sense, because it's probably not even gonna go like that.
Yeah, with kids, you got it. With children, you have to plan by ear. Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna erase so much. It's a waste of money. I might as well use it to draw flowers or something.
Right.
But so just planning and understanding that everything on your schedule, everything in your plan isn't going to go exactly the way it should. But just making that attempt, putting in the effort to get it done, being disciplined enough to do it, will get you a lot further, in my opinion. What are some things to consider when planning? What can you actually do? What are some things that you can actually, accomplish? For me, I have a vision board. People love, I've noticed more and more of like vision board parties, which is where a group of people get together and, we all, bring magazines or Pinterest pictures or things, and we, make our vision boards. What do we want to see within X, Y, and Z amount of time? And so you have short-term goals, you have long-term goals, you have mid-term, what I want to do by the end of this week. What do I want to do within the end of the month? What should I have accomplished within 6 months, a year? What is my life goal? Ultimately, what do I want to do? And understanding those things, I can't have my life goal and expect it to be done within 6 months. You gonna be real upset. you looking at that vision board like, well, I ain't got it yet. Right. So understanding timing and what is a realistic expectation of yourself. Again, time management is something that I'm not always, the best at. So I can't say I'm going to have perfect attendance. I'm probably going to be late tomorrow. And then I'm
effort not to be, right?
Yeah, I'm going to make the effort.
Right.
I'm going to get up an extra 5 minutes early. But, I'm a part of that crew that get up early and on time and then just sit in the bed until I'm late. Don't ask me why. I don't know.
So you get up early, but you just sit there until you're late.
Just pondering life secrets and God's goodness.
Okay.
And just understand, you got to know stuff about yourself and be honest with yourself. Some of us be lying to ourselves. Don't do that.
These are the things we're going to clear out in 2019.
Yeah.
I think we should all strive to, maybe not to be perfect, but to be better. Just be better. No, everybody wants to just be better than where you were last year. Try a little bit harder. You don't have to be an expert at everything. Just try to learn it. If you can't learn it, then it's not meant for you. Just move on to something else. Everybody has that thing that they love, like, and understand how to do. If you don't, then you'll figure. If you don't have it right now, then for 2019, figure out what it is. Because we all need relaxation, release, and relatability. So we gotta have something to relax, to help us relax. We gotta have something that helps us release the stress, and we gotta have something that we relate to in order to do the other two things. So I don't know if you read books, you play in sand and separate it, you cut soap up and make it into little cubes. You play, you make drawing videos on YouTube. See, you make the drawing videos, that makes you feel better. And then you put it on YouTube, and then KiKi watches it, and that makes her feel better.
Yes.
See how the cycle goes? And then KiKi has told somebody else, and now they gonna watch the videos, and now they gonna feel better. See?
And then now you got a reason to keep relaxing, to make more videos for me.
Exactly.
See? I'm just trying to help y'all. That's all. What was I about to say? Oh. I'm looking real hard because if a lot of times, people say, I'm going to cut this person off. No new friends. No. Now, I ain't saying go make a whole bunch of friends, but communication. Nobody can do life by themselves. And I'm not even talking about romantic relationships. Nobody can do life by themselves. And so, hell, you even need the girl down at the Walmart to ring your stuff up. If it weren't for her, you would have nothing, So being kind to people, you know what I'm saying? Being understanding, because stuff does happen. And knowing there's some stuff that I realized this year that were my fault. And so taking accountability, like I said, understanding it's not always other people. I have to go back and say, oops, my bad. Because remember, I don't apologize. Right. But some people, knowing when looking at yourself, knowing what you can do better, part of that is reflecting on the experiences that you had throughout this year. Are there some things that I want to experience again? Yes. Are there some things that I don't? Absolutely. Knowing where you went wrong, and like I said, sometimes you need help to do this. So you might want to ask, people that you trust. Knowing where you went wrong allows you to have the space to get better. If I'm doing a math problem, right, and you show your work. If I go back and see where I went wrong within the work, I know what to do next time in the next problem in order to get the right answer. So if I look back and say, I didn't like that he did that. But taking a look back now, I realize I probably didn't like what he did, but it's because I said something
made him do
that, provoked him to do what he did. Now I know going forward, one, I have to apologize. If it's still opportunity for communication, I have to apologize and say, you really shouldn't have did that. But I understand that it's because I said something I may not should have said.
I don't know if you can start an apology with, you shouldn't have did that, but.
You can. You got to try it sometime. You just got to try it.
Generally, apology goes, I noticed where I messed up at, and I apologize for that. My bad. That's it.
Okay, we're going to take a poll. So, which one y'all like better, mine or DJ Labs? Because, no, but seriously saying, I realize now that you probably did this because I said, and I understand that next time,
okay,
maybe I should say. How you talk to people plays a big part in what in people's reaction to you. If I'm a rude person, ain't nobody gonna want to deal with me. If I'm polite and I'm sweet and I'm helpful, people are more inclined to help me and give to me versus somebody who you don't want to deal with because their personality isn't the best. So that's why I couldn't apologize like that, because I just, raised my voice a little bit higher and I smile. So when I apologize, it looks like this. You know, you really shouldn't have done what you did. But looking at it now, I realize it was probably because I said X, Y, and Z.
Boy, there you have it.
See, you just got to know how to smile. And men either make your voice a little deeper, or women raise your voice a little bit higher, and you get what you want. Take that into 2019. No, just Wayne, don't do that. But DJ Lab said we're going to play a song. I hope it's My Gospel Husband. Because he really encourages me. And I want y'all to be encouraged in the Lord. So we going to see what he going to play.
I don't want to live the crazy life. I don't want to pick a crazy wife. I don't want to be that crazy guy who lost what I had inside. And I don't want the sinner's destiny. And I don't want to miss what's best for me. So I'm gonna take what's left of me, swallow pride. At least I gotta make a sincere effort to be all that you called me to be. God, I just don't wanna stay here living beneath. I owe it to me to at least try. So I'm gonna try. See, I'm gonna try. A little harder this time. I'm gonna try. See, Lord, I wanna know your plan for me. And I gotta follow faithfully. Yeah. So teach me to abandon all that makes me comfortable. So basically, I gotta make a sincere effort to be all that you call me to be. I just don't wanna stay here living beneath. I owe it to me to at least try. So I'm gonna try. See, I'm gonna try. A little harder this time. I'm gonna try. Tell me what I need to do so I can be close to you. I only wanna make you smile. This time's different. Tell heaven to watch me while I try. See, I'm gonna try. A little harder this time. I'm gonna try. Oh, see, I'm gonna try. Yeah, see, I'm gonna try. I gotta make a sincere effort to be all that you call me to be. God, I just don't wanna stay here living beneath. I owe it to me to at least try. I owe it 'Cause if it's God that I'm after, just can't serve two masters. Before something happens, I gotta turn it all around. 'Cause I can't just have my cake and eat it too. 'Cause it's real easy to stay on the fence and still do you. And it'd be cool if we could love the Lord and still go do our thing. But see, it doesn't work like that. We gotta be white or black. I'm gonna try. See, I gotta try. A little harder this time. I'm gonna try.
My mama told me that if I just hold on, never lose my faith, just keep pressing on, my struggle will be over in the nick of time. It will be alright. I've walked down this road many times before. He has never failed to keep me in his arms. My struggle will be over in the nick of time. It will be alright. It will be alright. It will be alright. God will take my burdens if I just hold on. It will be alright. We get wounded from the trials of life. Dreams have been shattered 'cause I slipped on ice. God will come and save me in the nick of time. It will be alright. I'm coming, we're coming to that. It will be alright. Yes, it will be alright. Oh, God will take my burdens if I just hold on. It will be alright. He will, no matter the test or the pain of my past. He will deliver me at all times. Yes, he will. No light is shining, the path is not so clear. He brought me this far. I can feel him near. He will take my burdens if I just hold on. I know it will be alright. Yes, it will. God told me to tell you it will be alright. God will take my burdens if I just hold on. It will be alright. Oh, it will be alright. It will be alright. God will take my burdens if I just hold on. God will never leave me. Gotta just stay strong. God will see me through it, and it won't be long. It's gonna be alright.
We back. It would be all right. And I believe that. Like I said, my grandma said before on her voicemail, she has a saying that goes, Each day is a new beginning in which we try to do our best. If we take the first step forward, God will surely do the rest. And I believe that if you, like we said, put the effort, you do your best, you know what I'm saying, do everything in your power that you can to do what it is that you're trying to do, God will handle the rest that you can't take care of. But why would I help you if you're not doing nothing?
Doing all the work.
Okay.
Just like building the house and somebody standing outside going, yeah,
That's
put that
nice.
beam over there. And then at the end of the house building, they going, we did that.
Yeah. Woo, and then wipe their head. If somebody come to you, can you help me pay my phone bill, and they ain't got nothing on it?
How much you got on it? 0?
Versus somebody
That's
who
not
say,
help.
I got 75, I just need like 10 more. I'm going to give you that $10. Your phone going to be on. But I ain't finna just give you $85 and you ain't tried nothing.
I ain't gonna pay the whole 85. I'm not finna be your plan B.
So just doing your best. And then sometimes, like I said, you're going to fall. You're going to make mistakes. But just using those experiences as lessons to get back up, dust yourself off, try again. It's like riding a bike. You fell at least twice trying to ride a bike. Unless somebody was just holding the whole time and pushed you real fast. And even then, you probably didn't get the brakes fast enough to stop. You're going to fall. But if you really want it, just like we wanted to ride that bike without them training wheels, you're going to get back on and you're going to try again. And you're going to fall. And that one hurt. Oh, it hurt. But you're going to get back up and you're going to try again. And next thing you know, you're going to be shoom, shoom, up and down, all in the cul-de-sac. Popping willies, riding with your knees, no hands.
No hands, all that.
I used to start at the top of the street because it's downhill, and I used to just go shoom, go all the way down. And so
yeah, we used to in Chicago. It was wheeling was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take the front wheel off my bike and wheelie as far as I can with the front wheel. You know that's dangerous, right? But I was a little unstable. We used to wheelie, and we used to see how far we could wheel. We take the front. I mean, remember one time I wheelied probably almost a mile with that front wheel off, just holding that bike up. That's how good I got it.
And I bet you he fell at least 263 times.
264
times. trying to get it. But when you want something, and then having faith as well. Because sometimes the brakes don't work on your bike, but you still going to go to the top of it. Like I did, the top of the street. I ain't have no brakes on that bike. I don't know what happened one day. I just know I went to press the brake, and it wasn't working.
No brake.
But I sure got out there yesterday. I mean, the day after. And I was riding that bike. And you just you put your feet down.
Yeah, slide it.
My shoes was toe up. My mama was so mad. But just having faith. Do the best that you can do. After you do the best that you can do, you let God handle the rest. And just believing and having faith that he'll do it. And I believe that 2019 is going to be a good year. Like I said, a lot of people looked at 2018 as a loss and a horrible. But I choose to look at it as experiences, tools of knowledge to turn into wisdom. What's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Application.
One more game. See, go ahead, tell me that one more game.
The difference between knowledge and wisdom is application. So knowledge is actually I believe in the definition of wisdom. It's using previous knowledge, experiences, and resources. It might be resources to make a informed decision.
Okay.
You can know something, but if you don't do nothing with it, that's not wisdom. What you know it for if you ain't gonna use it?
Exactly. Okay.
And so, you know, old people, seasoned, they got a little flavor, seasoned people, you know, pass down their wisdom. Well, based off of the knowledge, why are they more wise? Because they have more experience, meaning more room to apply what they know to be able to tell you how to use it.
Sometimes they may have done what you're trying to do and may know it better. They may have tried to build that mousetrap, done it properly, and can tell you a better way to build it.
If I know the recipe to cornbread and I never make it, I ain't gonna eat. Right. If I know the recipe to some cornbread and I don't make it, I ain't gonna eat. Yeah. And some of us just sitting around hungry. Recipes, all the ingredients, and wondering why. Oh, it ain't nothing to eat.
Is that lazy?
If you don't go preheat that oven or get that skillet hot, mix that stuff together.
Lazy, or if that's not applying the wisdom?
Both.
There you have it.
We say faith without works is dead. He will supply all. When I say he, I'm talking about God. He will supply all of your needs. And if you got the Holy Ghost, he'll tell you what you need. He'll guide you. He'll keep you. And some of us, you know, we just don't take heed to what he's trying to tell us, what he's giving us. And I believe he's not going to send you or give you something to do and not supply you with the things that you need in order to do it. And so when you want to grow, you have to make room for growth. Again, if you want to grow, you have to make room for growth. If I have a seed, and like in school, when we was in school, and I just put it in that little cup, it's going to grow for a little bit. But if I don't make plans to go out in the garden and make a plot for it or get a bigger pot, it's not going to continue to grow. Or if it does, what it's going to do is going to break up that cup. And then you no longer have the room to keep it or contain it. So making room for growth, like I said, sounds like what? If I know I want to get in a bigger house, I'm going to first manage the house that I have. Can I keep food in this house? Can I keep this house clean? Can I, get the hedges and keep the grass cut here? Can I pay all these bills? See, I can't worry about the next house until I got this one down pat. Right. I want a new car. Do I get my oil changed? Can I afford gas in this car? Do I keep this car clean? Do I tune up this car? Do I get new wheels on this car? Stuff like that. So you have to make room for the things and prepare for the things that you are looking forward to getting or that you believe. And then once you make room and have faith, I believe that you'll get it. Again, faith without works is dead. You can believe all day. You can have faith all day. But if you don't do what is necessary in order for it to come, where it's going to go? You at a hotel and you looking forward to having this many guests. I want 100 guests at my hotel, but I only have 50 rooms with one bedroom. Unless all them folks married, I can't expect, this amount of people to come. So again, making room, effort, faith, and adjustments. Adjusting yourself. Stop expecting other people to do for you what you want or are not willing to do for yourself. That makes sense? That sound like something?
Something that needs to be said and heard again.
Stop expecting people to do for you what you aren't willing to do for yourself.
And there's a lot of that goes around. People always want you to do something for them, but you ask them, "Have you tried it?" No. Well, why would I do it if you haven't done it? You set me up for failure because you don't even know what it is that needs to be done in order to accomplish what it is that you want to have accomplished. You got to try it first. Then tell me, well, I tried it and I couldn't do it. Then I'm going to come along and try to help you out.
And help.
Yeah.
Help.
You put together a bookcase from IKEA, and you try to put together, but it's just not looking good. I'm gonna come along and see if I can help you with the directions. But if you got the bookcase in the box and say, "Well, I need to put that bookcase together. Can you do that for me?" And you ain't tried to put it together, it's gonna be still in the box, waiting on me.
And some of y'all want them to buy the bookcase and put it up. I got to buy the bookcase and put it up. And you going to have attitude if I tell you no. These the folks.
You going real deep on that. I wasn't even talking about the buying part, but now that you said it, yup.
Some of y'all, these the type of people, let them go. Let them go. A lot of us want to fly, but don't want to get rid of the weights and chains that's on our ankles.
There you have it. And sometimes the weight and chains are you. Are yourself, because you are steadily allowing things to happen in your life, or steadily allowing the same type of people within your life that you know are holding you down. But that's my boy, that's my girl. We friends, we tight like that's my bro, that's my sis, bruh, cuz, friend, boy, girl. They all weights tied to your ankle, holding you down. You keep on allowing the same people within your life, and you keep wondering why all this stuff going wrong. Sometimes, like KiKi said, you can't make it in your life alone, but you can make it in this life with a few weights. People don't realize that sometimes you have to say goodbye to things that don't do you any good. You gotta know how to say goodbye. You gotta know how to recognize the things that don't do you any good. If you don't recognize it, then you bound to keep having no weight tied on your feet, because people see things and they know it's wrong, or they know it's not helping them any, but they turn a blind eye to it and just let it keep happening.
And like I said, I'm a mathematician.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
Naturally. So again, if I need this side of the equal sign to equal 100, but I got stuff over here that ain't quite right, you got to subtract and divide some stuff. Because over here is 150. 150 don't equal 100.
Exactly. So 50.
75 don't equal 100. So it's some stuff you got to add or take away to get the outcome that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, really sitting down, people don't want to take the time to sit down. And, we say nice little terms like introspection and self-reflections and inner works and, all this stuff. And it just sounds great. But we don't really take the time to do it.
No, we don't take all them big words are great, but all you got to do is sit down and evaluate. Say to yourself, Frank robs stores all the time. And Frank come over my house with his robbed stuff and store it in my house. And the police are over here all the time looking for Frank. I don't want the police over my house all the time. What do I need to do to keep the police from over my house all the time?
This time, call them on Frank. Frank got to go. Frank. And you know what that equation equal? You a fool. You ain't figured that out. They equal. They gonna come this time, exactly. And this gonna be the last time, because I'm snitching on Frank. Communication.
But that's foolishness. That foolishness, exactly. Communication. That foolishness. That you see what the problem is, but yet you keep turning your blind eye to it. But all this whole time you're going, "Woe is me." Come on.
And when I say I promise y'all, like promise y'all, when you do all that you can the right way, you are not going to come up short. Because God, I learned this year, God will be your defender, and vengeance really is the Lord's. And we talked about this. Oh, that was hard. But when you take the time and make the decision to do everything that you can and in your power, make the attempt and put forth the effort. I'm going to keep using those words. When you attempt to do everything right, the first, everything right the first time throughout, the second time throughout, the third, Lord, now you know me. I've been doing it the way you say to do it. Now this next time, this next time, I don't think I could do it right. I promise God will be your defender. When you do what you're supposed to do, he will take care of the rest. Sometimes there's people, I've tried, I've cut them off, I've tried telling them I don't like this. I've tried. Stay to what you know is right. And God will defend you. He will remove people, you know what I'm saying? And things will work itself out. But I want you to put forth your best effort. Put your best foot forward to do the right thing. Okay? And I want to say my brother's here. Y'all see him shortly. But I'm just understanding that there is a formula, if you will, to life. And it's really simple. Like I said, your inputs and your outputs. There's variables, which are those letters that people don't like to deal with. There's division, there's subtraction, there's addition, there's multiplication, which Jay talked about before. And just understanding what pieces of the equation are going to get you the other side of the equal sign, which is your outcome of what you want. And so knowing, okay, I have this added to this with this. So what would equal this? Do I need to add this? Do I need to take this away? Hey, Jay is in the building. Oh, we gonna play a song, but just understanding, what works and what will equal out to your outcome based off of what you put in. And that's pretty much the simplified formula of life.
This isn't the encounter.
Listen, you are listening to the Encounter Radio Show on Misfits Radio. We on GooglePlay, okay? Pandora soon. We on iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, YouTube, Periscope. Hey, Periscope, if you up today. And a lot of other media outlets.
I'm crying, Savior.
Christian, your head big.
Savior, hear my humble cry. Why on others thou art calling? Do not pass me by. Come on, if you're crying, tell them, I'm crying. I need you to do, God. I need you to hear my. I know it's a lot of people in here tonight, but this is what I need you to do, God. Whatever you do, whatever you do, whatever you do. Whatever you do, don't pass it. Whatever you do. You can take what you want to take, but just give me Jesus. Please, please, please. We need you every hour, every hour, every hour, every hour, every hour. We need you. Don't ever let go of me. Don't ever let go of me. Don't ever let go of me. I've done enough for you to leave me alone. I've done enough for you to cast me aside. But I thank you for not letting go of me. I thank you for not letting go of me. Anybody feel like that? I thank you for not letting go. Because I know the truth about me. And I know I've done enough for you to leave me alone. But I thank you.
Truth. You know, as we come to the close of this year, you know, we've completed 2018. Somebody said in one of those little memes KiKi always shows me, they said, I ain't gonna say I got beat up, but 2018 had some hands. You didn't whoop me, but you got some good hands. You got some good hits in. And I can say that because one thing about any good fight is, you know, a good opponent, you know, a worthy opponent. And not only just having a worthy opponent, the reason why I can say you didn't beat me, because not only were you worthy, I'm still here and you're not. The year is gone and it can't come back, but I'm still here and it will pass away. So, yeah, you got some hands. I got a fat lip and a busted eye, but God has been good. My little cousin is in the room with me today. Christian, you want to say hi? He's in the room with me today. Yesterday was, I'm not going to say the last, but it was a good blow dealt by 2018. Yes, she does have hands. Hey, Auntie Kim. And so yesterday was my grandfather's funeral, and I thank God for my little sister KiKi. I could not have made it. We buried Papa yesterday. And I preached the eulogy. And when I tell you that was one of the most difficult things I have ever done in my life.
And he preached that eulogy. He preached it.
Yeah. You know, like to look at me in the moment, I don't think someone might not have thought, or you would have thought it was easy. But it was the most difficult thing to do in my life. You know, it's interesting having to praise God in a hard place.
Because it's still good.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. You know, and it doesn't matter what has happened this year, what you've lost, what you've had to bury, what's been broken, what has died, God is still worthy of the praise. So here's what my life has been like for the last 2 weeks. My mom's estranged spouse passed away 2 days before my grandfather passed away, right? So Mr. Winston died and my grandfather died. Then Christmas is coming, right? So all of these things are happening at the same time. So my god brother has lost his father. And I've known Mr. Winston all of my life. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a loss in another regard, but it's not the same loss that my god brother is feeling for his father. You get what I'm saying? So, but while he's grieving his father, I'm grieving my makeshift father, my grandfather. You understand what I'm saying? So in my grief, I have to consider your pain. And grief is one of those things whereby you want to be allowed to be selfish. You're like, I want to be able to this to be all about me. You know what I mean? Like all about me. Like
I
it ain't
deserve to feel how I'm feeling.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All about me and my family and the people, you know, that his life has touched more than a high and by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More than a Sunday interaction. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I wanted to feel. But in that place, I have to consider someone else. So we have to take care of business for him because you can't do nothing unless my mama sign. So while we signing for you, we're signing for us. So in this whole process, I apologized to my cousin. I said, because the last couple of times he's come to see me, I've been this horrible person. The first time I had a shingles outbreak, so I was in pain. Then, you know, another time something happened, he got in trouble. That wasn't my fault. That was his fault. Then, you know, this time, you know, Papa, you know, has passed away. So I'm like, okay, whoa, you know, so I wanted to spend some time with him, you know, that was good and pleasant like we normally do. But in this place, you had to find room to celebrate Christmas. Because I just did a show about how Jesus came and all this wonderful stuff and how, you know, God, Jesus cared enough to come and we should celebrate him for that. So I don't teach what I don't at least attempt to live. I ain't going to say I'm a master of everything. I ain't going to say that lie.
Yeah, I heard that word, attempt, effort. Okay.
Right. Yeah. You know, I ain't going to sell that lie. You know, I'm never going to sell that. If I tell you, it's because I am attempting in some form to do it. Or there are instances where I will tell you because I failed, I'm failing, and I don't want you to be in the same pit or prison I'm in. So some people be like, you can't tell me because no. If I can tell you very well, you don't want to go to jail because I've been there. Now, if you would like to, I can tell you very well you don't want to go to jail because I'm on cell block number 3. You know what I mean? So now if you want to come live with me, then come live with me. But don't tell me I can't tell you yes because I'm in it. So, you know, Christmas had come. So, you know, the joy and the gratefulness for Jesus caring enough to come. But it was hard to say, oh, come let us adore him. It was hard to sing, for he alone is worthy. It was hard to sing, in him I find no failure. It was hard to sing, I'll praise his name. That was hard. You understand? So to get up yesterday and say, I will bless the Lord at all times. Now, KiKi has watched me over the years mount the pulpit. That is a familiar psalm, you know. And normally, like, I come in and boom, I will bless the Lord at all. I had to slide into that. I had to slide into that thing. You know what I mean? Like, really had to slide into it. And as I take inventory of myself, as I take stock of myself, an inventory of my spirit, you can never forget who I am. And I think people sometimes, familiarity breeds contempt. Yes. All right? It breeds contempt. The closer you get with people, the more familiar you get with people, the more you disregard them. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you ever watch me, here's a life lesson. Keep distance between you and people. I'm never so familiar with KiKi that KiKi can't tell me nothing, because there's a distance that I keep between me and KiKi that, you know, sometimes I don't want to talk. Not because we don't have nothing that we can't talk about. Not because we don't have the relationship that we can just pick up and talk every day. But sometimes I don't want to talk, because sometimes we don't need to talk. Because if we cross these bounds of familiarity, it will breed a disregard for her. Oh, that's just KiKi. So I keep space between people, even in my relationships. So I said all that to say that, you know, that place of transition, in this place that I'm in, I've taken inventory of myself and some stock. And you can't forget who I am. Yeah, I'm a teacher. Yeah, I'm a preacher. I'm some people makeshift pastor. Praise the Lord. May the Lord watch between me and thee, you know, because but I am licensed and ordained and called to be a prophet. And what people have to understand about that is I am the message. Okay, you got all these people prophesying, but you don't have a lot of prophets. You have a lot of people making predictions, but you don't have a lot of prophets. We become the message. Like, you got to live it. You understand what I'm saying? He'll break your heart so he can show you how he feels. He'll wreck your life so he can cause you to live in the state that he's going to send his people into. So when you read the Bible and you study the prophets, it's not really an easy thing. And nobody really wants this particular office. People that really want it, they're crazy.
Or don't understand the full responsibility, weight of what comes with sitting in a chair.
Yeah, like,
a prophet.
I want to be the president. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Me either.
No, I don't. Because I have to make the decision to send people's sons and daughters to war. The relationships that I forge, because the job of the president is foreign affairs, with other countries can affect the income of the entire nation. If I tear my draws with Arabia, they ain't going to import us no oil. If they can't import us no oil, then some mother somewhere is not going to be able to put gas in her car and get to work. If people don't do and can't, you know, then that stops, you know, the whole economy. So we become the message. You have to embody the office. I can't imagine what you undertake as you know, spearhead this radio. Like, can't imagine. And trying to do it, don't want it, because it's more that comes to it than the glitz and the glamour of the title. Yes, I get to write my name down as, but at the end of the day, it's me that God wake up at 2:00 in the morning, talk about fix your heart, fix your attitude, fix your spirit, and get up, wash your face. I know you're mourning, but wash your face and get in this word, because you have an assignment in spite of your pain. So as I'm looking at all of this stuff, I preset, or God kind of dropped for me the direction for the Encounter brunch and ministry radio station, you know, next year. And it was, the title he gave me was Stuck in Transition. That's the title he gave me, Stuck in Transition. And I could have preached that based on my own experiences from my past. Like, I could have preached that. I could have taught that for a whole year based on my past experiences. But he allowed me to go through this situation so that it would be fresh. So that way there would be a sacrifice on the altar that was fresh, where I could choose to get stuck in this place of transition. And so as we close out the year and we wrap up for this show for 2019 and whatever time I have left here with you, I want to talk to you just a little bit about being stuck in a place of transition. And the reason why we allow ourselves to be stuck in those places is because you're justified.
But the biggest one of the biggest things, I can justify anything I do. I mean, anything. If I did it, I'm justified.
Yes.
And Jay be having to talk me down.
Oh, God. Yes.
And so one of the biggest lessons that my brother has taught me is just because you're justified, it doesn't make you right. So just because I'm going to say it again for the people that's out there that's like me, I'm going to say it 2 more times. Just because you're justified, it does not make you right. You can have a reason for something, but that doesn't make it an excuse. You can have a reason. You can have a reason for something, but it does not excuse your behavior.
You can have a rational reason for something. It doesn't. You can have a good. You could have a commonly or an accepted reason for doing something. It does not excuse your behavior. One of the reasons why we don't want to move forward is because we feel justified in holding on to our pain. Like justified in holding on to our pain. He cheated, so I got a right to be bitter. I got a right to be angry. Cheating according to the word of God only gives you a right to the divorce. You still must forgive. Amen, lights.
Amen.
Amen, lights. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That part for me is difficult, but
yeah,
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And the thing is, we're all works in process, you know. And I will tell people, I was just telling my mom this morning as we go through this thing, I was telling my mom, you can only, I learned this with forgiveness. I can only forgive to the degree that I know damage was done. So, you know, I've shared that, you know, the person that molested me as a child, I forgave them when I was a teenager. I forgave them. You know what I mean? I disclosed, forgave, and did all that, right? I was about 22 years old, and I found out that they were married with children. And I, at 31, still am not. I had to forgive all over again because I did not realize that damage was in the area. And I got angry. I had to forgive all over again. But I could have held to my justification. You don't deserve a family. You don't deserve to be around children. You should not be trusted with anybody's children. I could have justifiably and rationally held on, but it didn't make it right because the word says for me to forgive. And let me just help everybody. I can psychologically dither. I can academically debate. But when it comes down to the word, it is my final answer. So I can go with you psychologically. Like we can have a emotional, intellectual conversation. I do understand the 7 stages of grief. And if you don't stay current, there used to be 5, but now there's 7. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. And it does not matter whatever your field is in, you must continue to study to show yourself approved. You understand what I'm saying? So we can discuss that. I can discuss all of them stages. But at the end of the day, the word says that we don't mourn like the unbeliever, because the unbeliever doesn't have hope. I have hope. They may have insurance, but I got a double part. I got insurance and assurance of where I'm going. So death for me is just a door to another leg of life. I just went to a retirement home. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to know what you believe. The word becomes my final answer. So when it comes to forgiving and letting go of my legal right, my rational right to be right. Because if I don't let go of my rational right to be right, here comes the connection, and this is a part that I never tag in with KiKi, is I become self-righteous. Mm-hmm. Because rightness now is my standard and not God's. What is right is what I see in my eyes and not God's. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So when I surrender my right to be right and submit to the will and the word of the Lord and forgive people that despitefully use you and talk about you and scandalize you and don't carry their weight and want to show up and look like they a wonder, and people that, come out of the woodwork, say they're going to do something and renege. Like, I ain't never going to play spades with you because I will fight you at the card table if you tell me you got a heart and you ain't got no heart. Why are you reneging? You are looking at your hand. That's why I don't like liars, because I feel like, for me, I never give you a reason to lie to me. You don't ever have, I'm not judgmental as far as I know. Like, as far as I know, I've not encountered something to whereby I just will not, like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like,
unless it's food.
Yeah, but that's me. And that comes to my intake. So when I say I'm not judgmental, just because I don't do what you do, don't mean I'm disgusted with you because you do it. Does that make sense? People feel like judgmental. I am a preacher. My stand on certain issues will never change. It doesn't mean that I'm disgusted with you or I'm done with you because you do it. You can be a swinger. Marriage for me is one man and one woman. I ain't disgusted with you because y'all be having a rotation in your bedroom. That's between you, your wife, and your God. But the word says. So if you want to argue with me, don't argue with me because I am sure of what I've decided on. You want to know what this is just a sidebar conversation. People don't know where to plant their feet. I plant my feet over here, but I can reach over there. Right. Does that make sense? My feet ain't going to move. Now, either you're going to come within my reach or you're not. But my feet ain't moving. So when you learn how to plant your feet, you learn how to extend, how to become flexible, but your feet cannot move. That's why we play the game at the center where we pat each other's hands. And the trick of the game is to knock you off balance. Nothing you do, nothing that life throws, nothing that people can leave, people can go, people can be born, people can die, but I cannot allow it to knock me or move my feet. So this place that I'm in, stuck in transition, I got to give up my right to be justified because the word says, and if I don't have to obey nobody else, I got to obey God. And here's why. Because the Bible says either you're going to fall on the rock and break yourself on the rock, or the rock is going to fall on you and then grind you into powder. What would you rather happen? Right.
I'd rather just stand on my feet on the rock.
No. See, that's not optional. We were creating another. No, you can build on the rock. But when it comes to you going to be broken.
Well, that's true.
Oh, there's no way around that. Right. Like.
Yeah, I'd rather just break my leg.
There's no way around that. So how you want to do it? Do you want to control the fall? Control the speed of the fall, control the direction of the fall. God is basically saying in that verse, offer it to me. Break yourself on the offer it to me. If you offer me your arm and break your arm, you know what you got to do next week. You know that you can deal with 2 months in the cast. You know that you can deal with the recovery time. See, but if I fall on you, not only am I going to break you, I'm going to grind you into powder. So in other words, God's going to be like a millstone. Flowers start as wheat. Y'all know that, right? You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, we city folk, you know, everybody, you know, does not have the privilege of being city folk with a country grandfather. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm city folk. You know, I ain't never milled no wheat. I know I have not. But I thank God for my grandfather who did a little bit of everything. I knew somebody. I met somebody who did. You understand what I'm saying? So flour comes from wheat. The wheat is taken and then it is separated. After it's separated, but then it has to go to the rock. And because the wheat can't fall itself on the rock has to fall on the wheat. And because the wheat didn't want the rock to fall on it, surely the wheat ain't moving. So the wheat ain't going to get itself to the state that it needs to get in to make itself flour. The rock got to do the moving to get it. So you want to control the break or you want to be broken? So if you want to get to the next stage this year, maybe you're stuck in some places of transition because you're holding on to your justification, your rational reasoning for not letting go of things, people, places, what they did, what Big Mama said, offenses, abuses, misuses, losses, neglects, deaths, you overlooks, skips, passes, breaks. You holding on to your justification for all of those things, and you're prohibiting it from letting you move forward. How many times is a new year gonna come and you gonna be in the same position? How many times you gonna write New Year goals down and you're going to find yourself writing the same New Year's? What did you actually accomplish this year? Or is it just a different date on a calendar, but it's the same place, same people, same thing? How many times are you going to move from pillar to post and you take you with you everywhere you go, and the common denominator in your life is you? How many times? How many times are we going to allow ourselves to experience and have the same circumstances and situations, the same saga play out on the stage of your life? And we point a finger and want to act like you have amputation and you don't have 3 other fingers pointing back at you. How many times? How many times? So I'm not interested in your New Year's resolutions. I don't want to talk about it. Because in all actuality, you may break up with him, but you're going to marry him again. It's just going to be the same person in a different body because you have not let go of you. Oh, so maybe your business. And see, here's what I love about God. When God loves you, he will hold your reins. This is what I love about God. When God loves you, he will hold your reins. Mm-hmm. He will limit your success. Man, this is going to mess us up in this room. He will limit your success. He will limit your reach. He will stagnate your growth. He will put a ceiling to your accomplishments, and he will not allow you to go beyond certain borders because he loves you. God could allow us to be an overnight wonder. We could go from no name to viral sensation in a minute. People do it all the time. But because he loves us, he doesn't allow it. Why doesn't he allow it? He wants us to not be a one-hit wonder. See, when your family loves you and they find out you can sing, they don't go put you in a recording studio. They get you vocal lessons first. See, when your family loves you and they find out you have a gift for music, oh no, they don't know. They don't prostitute your gift. They make sure that you learn something about your craft and they put you in music classes. Baby, there ain't no way that you're going to sing songs but you can't read music. Baby, there ain't no way that you're going to want to sing something that you hear and don't have a musician that's going to be able to play it. And if you don't have the skill, Jonte, to move your hands and your feet at the same time, at least I know that face and all cows eat grass and good boys do. I can write my own music. And if I had to, I could sit and it don't matter how long it takes me to do it, I can find middle C and know the difference between C major and C minor and can notate it on paper for you to play it for me. So when he loves us, where we are as a business, because, you know, we are partners in this business, God has allowed it because he wants us to have longevity with our success.
Preparation for long-term success.
So, yeah, you got an internet radio and everybody coming to you and everybody. And why you process? You mean, you rude and you surly. But you booking gigs, you don't have a heart for people, but you preaching all over America. You don't have no good sense, but you giving advice. You ain't got no substance, but you got a family. You don't have no self-control, but you got a successful business. And for us, it can almost be offensive. And we can look at God and say, what are you doing? And there ain't no way in hell this is fair.
I do it all the time.
There ain't no way in hell this is fair. And we could go so far to say, if this is what it is,
no thank you.
Then slow up, world, let me get off. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we could get to that place. But when we understand God's love for us, God knew the experiences that I would have. God knew that if I could sing as a child and I was famous as a child and I had the access as a child to money and resources and drugs, and I would be a whole nother kind of monster than the monster that's sitting on this couch right now. Don't be deceived, because everybody is a monster. We are all both victims and villains. Don't ever get it twisted. That's why you got to be careful when you ask God to judge. Yeah, you got to be very careful when you ask God to judge, because the DJ said that we're both predator and prey. I say victim and villain. You got to be careful when you ask God to judge other people, because if God judges other people, if he judges them for being a villain, then if God calls court on villains, then we all got to show up. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be real careful. You got to be real careful about but what I ask God to do is show me the lessons that I am supposed to get in the experiences that I am having in life. So maybe you're stuck in transition because you just won't let go of your justification. Something that somebody else said, maybe you're stuck in transition because you will not allow what you envisioned for a place, a people, in a relationship. You won't let it die. And when they said that thing pierced my heart. Because recently, I disclosed what happened with, my godchildren. And that pierced my heart. It pierced my heart because somebody said, well, why you keep talking about it? Because you don't know what I saw. You don't know what. See, you don't know where I've settled. Okay. Yep. So we just took a real turn. You don't know where I've settled. You don't know the dreams I gave up to build the vision that I have of my future now. You don't know. You don't know the things that I've made myself content with. And you don't know how I've used people and things to make myself satisfied with my lack thereof. You don't know. So I talk about things and I revisit things because you don't know what's dying. And some of us are stuck in transition because you will not allow your hopes, your dreams, your visions, your plans, the future that you have spent time preparing for. You won't let it die because you are not the only player in your future. And the moment someone decides that they don't want to go, you can't force them. As much as I love KiKi, when KiKi decides she no longer wants to sit on this couch, there's nothing I can do about it. Right. I can't force her. As much as you love your wife in Radio Land, in YouTube world, in all of these virtual, as much as you love your wife, as much as you love your husband, as much as you love, if they decide that while you're at work, they're going to clean out their closet, they're going to pick up their belongings, and they're going to make a peaceful transition, and you will never know what was wrong, that there is nothing you can do about their decision and their right to exercise their will and execute their what you going to do? You going to commit a murder? What you gonna do? You gonna kidnap them and force them to stay? Either way it go, you gonna end up in jail, and you still not gonna have the future that you. What you gonna do? You gonna force them to go along with it? You're gonna manipulate their emotions and cause them to do something out of obligation that their heart is not really in. So you can have your future, but it ain't gonna be the way you really wanted it. You're in the marriage, but it's not the marriage that you got somebody laying in bed with you, but they ain't really got your heart. They really don't have your back. They really don't know if you really can't trust them with your secrets. So when you let go and you start burying, when stuff start dying, see the difference between that death and the death my grandfather had is that death. Oh, it got to go to the hospital. It got to go, it has to decline. You always leave people on a high. You leave the business on a high. You leave the marriage on a high. The pain comes when you watch it decline. Mm-hmm. We used to talk. You used to love me. You used to trust me. You used to. You understand what I'm saying? When you won't let it, so you got it in the hospital on a respirator, and machines are breathing for it. Machines are making the heartbeat. Is the body ain't doing it on its. Okay, it got brain function but no heartbeat. Okay, it got heartbeat but no brain function. So you're allowing something to continue to exist that is really no longer living because you don't want to deal with the reality of the death that is inevitable. You don't want to let go of the future you've planned. So maybe you stuck, and that make you hateful. That make you bitter. That make you tired. That makes you, when you're in that place, that makes you desperate. You see, you'll do anything. That'll make you degrade yourself. That'll make you bankrupt. People spend all their money in hospital bills, keeping a dead man alive. People spend all that they have. They pick up extra. They neglect their living children, sitting by the bedside of a child that is already gone. You miss your future because you living in your past, so you ain't doing things presently that you need to do. And you mean and surly. You always talking about what was. See, I'm leery of people that talk about who they used to be. I'm leery of people that's talking about what they used to have. I'm leery of people that talk about their contacts. Because if those are your contacts, then contact them with me. Don't tell me about whose number you got in your phone. I'm not really interested. Don't tell me about the relationships let me view you in the relationships that you're managing now. Baby, you can't tell me nothing. I'm not interested. Sell that pipe dream, sell that, because what you're doing is you're using me as a vehicle to allow the dream of what was, and all you're going to do is cause me to deal with further disappointment. Let it die. Let it die. Like let it go. Like bury it. Let go. My grandfather said God takes pleasure in making man out of a lie. That's how Papa used to say it. God takes good pleasure in making man out of a lie. I said I would never be a preacher. A person pulled me out of a service I was singing in, and they said, God's hand is upon you, his word, and he's going to make you, you're going to preach the gospel. I said, sir, I don't receive that. Because firstly, I'm shy. I really am. If you meet me outside of here, if we were to walk into a gas station, we would be like two ships sailing in the night. We would pass each other, and trust me, I have kept my distance. We would be airplanes that are in the same sky, but we would never see, meet, or touch each other. There would never be a collision. I walk into a room and leave out the room, and nobody knows my name, and nobody knows what I do. That's how I am.
Parallel lines, they never touch.
They never touch. So for you to tell me, you all right? For you to tell me that I'm gonna be a preacher, my uncle says Jonte can't stop singing, because that's all we ever known him to do. He ain't known for speaking. He ain't known for talking. He's known for singing. So how he just gonna? That was how I communicated. I would sing a song. And you could tell what was going on by the feeling I would put in that song. So I can't be no preacher. I don't like to talk.
And what did I just tell y'all? Very rarely do things go exactly how you plan it. Yes. And so letting go of that, and I'm a dreamer. The hardest people to let go of their past or to just go on and end are people who are dreamers, visionaries, people that can see beyond what they see. You know what I mean? It's difficult for us to let it go because you looked at this palette and you didn't see a coffee table. You didn't see a coffee table. Right. You didn't see it. So if I saw the palette and my intentions were to come back and pick them up on my way back, for me to come back and the pallets are ashes, I'm heartbroken. I'm hurt because you didn't see what I saw. All you saw was a means of transporting goods, and now that there are no goods on them, they're no longer useful. But because I have vision, because I'm a dreamer,
because God has allowed me to tap into my creativity, and he has given me just a little bit more creativity than somebody else, to whereby not only can I beautify an edifice, but I can create an edifice that was never even there out of things that never even
We're meant to be.
So it's hard for us to do it because
And can I?
go ahead.
Even in that, God can repurpose you.
Huh.
Because sometimes you feel like I should have been this.
Mhm.
Well, I thought he called me to, but I'm good at. And, stuff happens. And we think that that's it.
Mhm.
But like I said, God can repurpose you. He can send you somewhere. He can have you to do, and he can provide resources for you to become something that you probably would have never seen or thought or imagined that you
Yes.
could be and do. And so, like just learning, like Jay said yesterday, Papa taught him that you got to roll with the punches. Some of us are stuck in transition, but
Because-
you're not stuck in transition because you refuse to transition. You won't even get on the train to go where God wants you to be.
Listen.
I don't know where this train going. What I'm gonna get on it for? And that makes perfect
but
logical
you're
sense
still,
to me.
yeah, but it's still stuck in a place of transition because
You still
you
stuck.
still
You're
in a
not
train
going
station.
nowhere.
You're in a train station. The purpose of once you get on the train, you are now going. But if I get stuck in the station, I'm stuck in the place where I'm leaving this place and supposed to be going to another. You see what I'm saying?
It's like I said, we want to fly, but you still sitting in the seat at the terminal because you're scared to get on the plane.
So in the transition, I've left my home. I bought my ticket. I'm at the airport. There's my gate. Get on the plane. I can't. I can't. I can't get on the plane because I got to let go of my vision. My vision of me falling out the sky. And see, what you got to understand about visionaries and dreamers is that the dream and the vision become so real that we can pull it from what other people can't see and make it appear. Plato's theory of forms helps us understand scripture. Let me help you for the intellectual in Germany. Plato says that, paraphrasing, before the fork was a fork, the fork existed already in another plane. What happened was the person that created the fork saw the fork in the other plane, saw its usefulness, began to see the image. They saw the image so well that they were able to recreate what they saw someplace else. The reason why I say another plane is because me sitting in this seat as a psychologist, I know for a fact your brain cannot create anything new. So for you to see anything beyond what you have already seen means that someone had to have shown it to you. How did you see beyond Chicago and didn't nobody take you out of Chicago? Someone. So maybe I just believe that someone was God. The person that drops ideas that you don't even know where they came, and they make the ideas so crystal clear that you can touch it. The reason why we get frustrated is because I see it and you don't. I am living in it and you're not. I can touch it. Man, if this station was to run the way you see it, if my ministry was to run the way I see it, y'all would have to patch me in on a tour bus.
That's right.
If this thing would, if
And can I, for visionaries and dreamers, you know where the plane is going. But sometimes we allow
don't do that.
turbulence,
So
a little rainy weather,
yeah.
a little to stop us from getting
So-
on the plane
yes.
and taking
So-
flight. But when you know who your pilot is,
No, hold on, wait. Don't run through that. Don't
I'm
run
sorry,
through that because
go.
we got it. Because listen, this year we're gonna take some time. Because look, You said turbulence, rain. Oh, turbulence scared you? Turbulence don't mean nothing to nobody that ain't never flew before. What that mean to you? Oh, so you've been on a plane before and you didn't like that experience. Oh, so you have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Or you're allowing what you've heard about.
No. Oh, that's different. That's false. That's pseudo. I am inserting myself into your experience. I can't do that. Because unless I do what you did to the people you did it to, when you did it to, where you did it, from the place I'll never get your outcome. That's why I can say for a fact to anybody that has ever tried to rob me, be me, stifle from me, pilfer. Listen, let me tell you something. Unless you pay what I paid, you can't get what I got. And your God will never allow you to be fruitful with my fruit. You ain't going to steal my oranges. And go open a juice shop. God's not going to bless that. You ain't going to walk off my stage and do me wrong and become a world premiere actress. God not going to bless you like that. You ain't going to walk away from our organization and know you didn't treat people right and believe that God's going to breathe on. Oh, no. See, God's not going to allow you to be fruitful with my fruit. Because the Bible says this, be ye not deceived. God shall not be mocked. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. But this post-traumatic stress disorder is you're allowing the experiences that you've had to stop you and stagnate you from stepping into your future. That was that plane. And that pilot, and that airspace, and that wind current, you going to a whole nother destination. Do you understand that as inconsistent the winds are, they are very consistent? Mm-hmm. When God sealed the earth with the ozone layer that we are breaking daily, but when God sealed the earth, it created a vacuum. And in that vacuum, it caused currents, not just in the water, but also God is so wise that he put the earth in a rotation. And so as it rotates, he closed the door and everything in it it's like a snow globe. You turn a snow globe and then you stop it and the things keep moving. Well, if you could keep the force going and allow it to stand still, that's how centrifugal force works, right? To my scientific, the water is moving in the bucket. The only reason why the water didn't fall out was because of the force of the movement. The water it's not in the same place that it tilted to the back when it would have, had you stopped, you'd be soaked, but you kept on. Post-traumatic stress is like stopping in the middle of and you trying to figure out why you soaked. You're still stuck in transition because of the trauma, the reality of the trauma you've experienced in your past. Here's why I love psychology. And this is why the psychological field is never going to be ready for me. Because you're not going to sit on my couch for 10 years talking about your mama. You're not. You're not. Depending on the severity of your issue, we're going to set a chart where I'm going to give you a certain amount of our time whereby you can whine, mope, and complain. I gave us 3 months at the funeral. We got 3 months. And if in these 3 months I don't feel like walking out my room, leave me alone. If in these 3 months I want to make 6 pans of brownies and eat them all by myself in the dark, in the middle of my bed, leave me alone.
I will not.
Don't cut. KiKi wants some of them brownies. Leave me alone.
I got something to say.
You know what I mean? But we have there is a date set on a calendar that says when we reach this place, we got to get up. Tell me, what time is it? We good?
101.
Okay, let me close this point and we go. You know, when that date comes, we got to get up from here. You're not going to sit on my couch. So that field's not going to be ready for me because I'm not looking to collect victims. And my issue with us as a nation, oh Jesus, my issue with us as a church body at large, my issue with us as a people is that we allow for the collection of victims. And you allow people to rehearse. Oh, my mama died. Oh, my mama died. Hell, all our mama gonna die one day.
Us too.
Yeah. I pray we all be ready.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh God, my husband beat me. My husband. You're divorced, correct? How long have you been divorced?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to talk about this for 6 months. After 6 months, you're going to shed some more tears.
Right.
But we're not going to have this conversation.
Not like this.
Not like this. And here's the thing about it. While you crying, I'm going to let you cry.
Right.
Like, KiKi, though, I'll say, is that all? No, baby, I'll help you.
Did you get it out?
No. I will help you. I bet you going to miss them biscuits, huh? I'm going to help you. Did you think about who going to give you away at the wedding? I'm going to help you cry. I'm going to make sure everything possible for you to cry about within that time frame.
Get it out.
We going to cry about, because listen, once that date comes, I'm going to ask you a question. I've heard about all of that. All of your pain, all of your experiences, all of your struggles, all of what they did, all of your hurt, all of your abuse. I heard about you being crazy. I heard about your trauma. I heard about, I heard all of that.
Now what? What's next?
And I want to validate all of those experiences. They were wrong. They shouldn't have did that. They made mistakes. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. We're going to take a line from Papa. Even if they knew what they were doing, they didn't do it to you. They really did it to God, and they did it to themselves. So I know all of that.
Lord,
but at this point, what you want to do?
Right.
You want to stay here? Because if you stay here, this is our final session. Because I can't sit here and listen to you be sorry about yourself. You don't want to live after a divorce? You don't want to live after a diagnosis? You don't want to live after a foreclosure? You don't want to live after a death? You don't want to live? You don't want to live? So if you don't want to live, let me go on, because life is for the living. If you asked me to sit here and die with you, that I won't do.
I like this.
How about, I got too much of my own life to live to spend my time dying with you.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. I got too much of my own life to live to spend my time dying with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I allow the trauma of my past to stop me from living, I ain't got nothing better to do but die with you.
2 Timothy 1:7. We know this one.
Mm-hmm.
For God has not given us a spirit of fear.
No, he has not.
For God has not given us a spirit of fear. Like I said, we scared to get on the plane.
Mm-hmm. Scared to move forward, scared to let go, scared to forgive. And you want to know, and that's great that you brought that up, because really a lot of the reasons why people can't let go is because they don't know who they are without. I spent so much time hating you, sweet Jesus, that I don't know what it's like to not hate you.
Right.
I wouldn't know myself if I didn't hate you.
The second part of the verse says, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
You see how one thing can cause you to miss everything else. Power, love, sound mind. Don't that sound like a good life? Mm-hmm. Righteousness, peace, joy in the Holy Ghost. That's what God, righteousness, his righteousness, not yours. Yes. His.
Let's clarify.
You understand? Your righteousness is filthy. So what he did was he imputed unto you his righteousness. Righteousness. I'm righteous because he's righteous. I'm righteous because I believe in the God that believes in me. So that makes me righteous. It don't matter what I do. Because he believes in me and I believe in him, then I'm good. So righteousness, peace, in spite of what comes, a peace that surpasses all understanding. How can I show up to a radio the week my grandfather died, after the funeral? Because I have a peace that surpasses all, and even though it's uncomfortable, it's well, because I know the God in whom I put my trust, because I trust him. I know that he gonna take this situation and work all of it. So why I'm gonna get stuck in a place of transition? My grandfather is dead and buried. I'm going to get stuck in a place of transition. My past is my past. I cannot relive yesterday. I cannot relive 31 years of my life. I cannot, but all I got is my right now and tomorrow. And if I don't manage this right now, it's going to change the way my tomorrow is looking. So I can't afford to be stuck in this place. I can't afford to keep looking over my shoulder at what coulda, woulda, shoulda been and holding on to stuff. And I'm going to travel forward and I'm going to travel light. So God bless you. May the Lord's face shine upon. God bless you over there.
Bless them and send them.
No, for real. And this year, I need people to learn to say, I love you over there. Right. God bless you over there. If you need something, I'll send it to you over there.
And sometimes you got to leave yourself.
Oh, my goodness. And can I tell you this? The situation that happened with my godchildren, that was my fault. It was partially my fault. I'm not responsible for her part. I'm not responsible for how you treated me. You're going to be held accountable for that. I'm not going to be responsible for that. But the part I played, God didn't like the way I was looking at my godchildren. He warned me. He said, don't love them children like you ain't going to have none of your own. That's what he said. And because I have settled in this place, especially after this, my grandmother and grandparents have been married for 41 years. We went and took my grandmother to buy a dress, and the dress was raised up on one side. And she was like, we got to take it to the tailor. And I said, no, nothing's wrong with the dress. Papa's just not there. Because when you watch Granny and Papa, they both had issues with their knees. And so Granny leans this way and Papa leans that way. And so when they walk together, they pull each other up to their center and they go. So without Papa there pulling her up, she's leaning, and the dress was leaning with her. I don't know if I want to be married now. You know, they were getting so happy because I had just come to a place where I was kind of thinking about the idea, looking over the brochure. But now, nope, thank you, good.
And can I tell him what I told you? Just like he don't like the idea of I don't think I want to get married. A lot of us are like, I don't think I want to do 2019 based off of 2018.
Oh, yeah.
But I told him, I said, I feel like she's better for the 41 years that she did have versus if she did not have that 41 years with him at all. Because God has not given us the spirit of fear.
Exactly.
And she wouldn't have had
Yes.
Pawpaw
Yes.
at all had she been scared.
Yes. Yes.
Had she, I don't want to do
Had
this.
she allowed
Had
pain
she,
of
if I ever
past failed
again,
relationships.
I ain't never.
But the point that I was making with it being my part was I allowed myself to make peace and settle and preparation and build a dream and have visions and include in wills and bequeath property and to children that are not mine. And because God knew where I fixed my heart, he knew how to break it. Okay. Maybe the pain that you've experienced is because when God warned you to turn your heart, you wouldn't turn it. So then God had to come and break it. Does that make sense? So I don't get to cry and blame my godchildren's godparent about what she did when the part I played was I would not heed the warning God sent to my spirit to adjust myself in that relationship.
You wouldn't fall on the rock.
The rock had to fall on me. And then he ground it up so to whereby it can't be salvaged. See, but then I can't even say that because I have been quoted to say, no matter how fragmented to the relationship, your life, or any state you may find yourself in, God is able to pick up every shard of your shattered life, relationship, business, dream, hope, idea, family, and put all those individual shards back together again like it never was broken and even better than what it was before. Because it's something about when God brings you through a thing, you come out better. You come out better.
That's like with a regular, excuse me, vase versus, I don't know if y'all have seen, well, we talked about my YouTube videos, but, you know, that broken glass that people use, it's like that. So you was all right. You was a nice little vase, you know, whole, one color, you know, solid. And then you broke. Oops, you fell off the shelf.
And it wasn't your fault. Somebody pushed you.
Yeah, somebody then came and knocked you over.
It ain't never your fault. No, that's the truth. It ain't never your fault. It's somebody's fault. Your mama that raised you, your daddy that didn't say no to your mama when he should have, your mama that should have listened to your grandmama and heeded the warning that ain't nothing open after midnight but legs. See, it ain't never your fault.
And Steak and Shake.
Oh. And the only reason you went to Steak and Shake was because your legs was finna be. Listen, it ain't never your fault. It ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. It ain't. No, it's not you.
I think I want you to expound on the fact of what Kiki just said a couple of minutes ago about we don't get away from ourselves. We talked about that earlier, right, Kiki? How a lot of times the problem is us and how we keep doing the same old things.
You bring
expecting a different outcome with the same people. Well, I say Frank steals, and Frank comes over your house every time he steals something. And the police come over your house to see where Frank at, and you keep saying to yourself, I don't want the police over my house, but you keep letting stealing Frank come over there. I'm sorry.
It's in the
I'm
Bible.
sorry,
It's in the book. It's in the book.
You keep letting stealing Frank come over your house. What is that equation that would probably help the police stop coming over your house? But it's us because we love Frank. You get what I'm saying? How we are the problem.
So here's what I want. I'm going to expound upon it by teaching you two things that are this is from the family vault. This is normally things that I don't tell outsiders, but I'm going to share. Right, Kiki looking at me like, don't you be telling nobody. Yeah, this is from the family vault.
Because he start these. I was talking to, see, he be telling
No. I'm going to teach you these are lessons that I've learned from my vault that I share with them so they don't make the same mistakes. Because one thing that I try to do a lot of times to people's detriment and my own is I try to buffer their falls. 2019, y'all niggas can fall.
All in the gutter, no bumpers when you bowl.
Fall. Yeah. You ain't got no airbags, baby. You better put your seatbelt on. I don't know what to tell you. You know, you ain't got no seatbelt. You better drive real slow. Let them honk. Let them honk. But I ain't finna be in the car with you and be your seatbelt. Because now my arm broke off. Because I've been trying to be your seatbelt. No. So I'm learning. But the lesson I was going to say is, I tell them all the time, people have pet monsters. It's a pet, but it's a monster. And you love it while it's your pet. But you hate it when it morphs into the monster. You remember the movie Gremlins? Mm-hmm. They wasn't that cute when they was cute. But when they wasn't, they wasn't. We got to be honest enough with ourselves to identify those things. Because it's cute when it's dry. But it, like my cousin said, but it can't stand the rain. You understand? Yeah, you know, it's cute then. But after that, don't do that. Because if you do that, and see, and then now you want to act like it is a horrible, deplorable, debaucherous thing. When you just cuddle with it.
Feeding it.
You want me to be angry at a snake that bit you, that you fed? Snakes bite. Snakes are sneaky. Snakes, that's what they do. You want me to be angry with you? You want me to excuse the aroma of your home because you allowed the dog to live with you? Dogs pee and poop. And unless you take them outside, then your house. And every good dog has an accident. And that dog one day gonna get old, he ain't gonna be able to help himself. So you gotta identify that's your pet. And the responsibilities, good and bad, the experiences that come with you choosing that pet will fall on you. You want us to put down your dog. Shoot your own horse. Shoot your own dog. Don't hand me the gun.
That you fed and helped grow and trained.
Only for me to shoot the dog.
And you mad.
And you press charges against me for murdering your pet.
Now I might as well shoot you too.
Oh.
Because animal cruelty is even worse.
Now you mad. So I'm gonna come. That certain things he bust you in the face, knock you out. I asked all of my sisters. KiKi will witness this. I asked, can sign as a witness when they find a new person, be it a person they talking to, a friend or whatever they calling them now these days, because you know relationships change every generation. I say, are you happy? And I tell them, I say, if you're happy, I'm happy. Come in with a black eye. I'ma say, are you happy? No.
That's all.
Because if you're happy, I'm happy.
I love it.
Oh, no. And see, I realize what also happened. People can't take that. That's why people, they run from me. Because I'm the mirror that really forces you to deal with the fact, no, I'm not happy, but I don't want to let go. No, I'm not happy, but it's familiar. No, I'm not happy, but no, so.
And can I say, you can only help people that want to be helped. And like he was saying with him buffering and not allowing people to fall, you keep trying to help people. And you prevent stuff from happening to them. And that's why they keep going back, because you keep making it okay.
So they never have the experience that they need to have to make it stop. But when it comes to you getting away from you, when I acknowledge that this is a pet monster that I allow, I have to do the assessment. And you have to really settle yourself and make peace with the fact that the damage that they do is not worth the few moments of pleasure you get. because the night is longer than the day. All that terror that they reckon in the night, I'm tired all day and can't really maximize my day because of I stayed up cleaning up the damage you did all night. So when the next night comes, I am not even refreshed to deal with new damage. When you recognize that the damage ain't worth the pleasure. See, some things you endure because the risk is worth the outcome. You understand? The pain is worth the pleasure. You know, it hurt a little bit, but listen, after a while, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it tastes nasty, but after a while, after a while. So you continue on because of the reward you're going to get after. But when I endured all this pain and it ain't no reward, it helped me kill the pet because you are more monster than pet. Then the second thing that I'll tell you is learning to be quiet. KiKi, know in a minute, I will cut the radio off. When I get in the car and drive, oftentimes there's no sound. When I'm in my house, I don't need noise. I love when people go out of town. Go out of town. Please do. Please leave.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Extend your stay.
Yeah, please do. Because when those things happen, I don't cut TV on. I get quiet. And when I'm quiet and there's no noise and your issues and your needs and your wants and your desires and your urgencies are not my emergency, I get time to assess my urgencies, my needs, my wants, my desires, me. I get time to reflect and recall experiences that I've had. And one advantage that if you don't take nothing else from my life, I need everybody to take this. Every situation I walk out of it saying, how could I do that better? I didn't like the first experience that I had here as a host on the radio show. Y'all were wonderful. But I didn't like what I saw. How can I do that better? Oh, okay. I didn't like, the response that how can I, every summer when I was directing the program, I would walk away out. I couldn't even finish the summer before I started going into that quiet, introspective place. That's called introspection. You have to look in and be honest. The only way you can say how you can do something better is if you can admit what you did wrong. If you're not willing to take, you put too much baking soda in that cake. That's why it got a little to it. No, I didn't. Okay, well, I'm a baker. I know what baking soda tastes like when I taste it. And I'm trying to tell you now, the reason why your cake dropped is because you need to make your cake when your kids are not at home. Because when they're running around the house, the vibration does not allow for the cake to rise. So unless you're going to make cupcakes, little honey, you need not make a cake till after your children go to sleep unless they not be home. Now, take the advice or don't. But it's when you get quiet that you're able to say, yeah, I was mean. Why was I mean? What about that situation? See, if you don't learn to sit back and really put you under the microscope, you will never change. I got too much living to do to remain the same. You understand what I'm saying? I got too much to keep repeating the same mistakes. I am not a record on repeat. And after a while, if you keep repeating the same record, the track gonna skip. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that I when you say you need to get away from you, sometimes you need to shut yourself away from the things and people you use to escape from the reality of what you already know you are. And when people get mad when you tell them the truth, that means that they're either under a spirit of delusion, they have the mental issue of delusion, or they are choosing to walk in denial. You understand
and
what
when
I'm
you
saying?
deny something, you already know about it.
You know
just
it's
don't
true. You
accept
just
it.
choose not to accept it. You know that bill is yours. You just decline the call. You deny. I see you calling. You did ring my phone, but I am denying. I'm not gonna answer. But you did. And see, then I'm a lie and say you didn't call. No. I called your number. You understand what I'm saying? So unless you learn to when you deal with those kind of people, hey, and so now at this point, I'm gonna be like Papa. I'm gonna say what I got to say,
and that's that.
and I'm gonna keep on moving. And see, what I realize is that's what the Bible says do, and I don't do it. Say what you need to say. If the people don't accept it, shake the dust off your feet and keep on moving. No, but I want you to get it because I don't want you to hurt. I can't want for you more than you want for yourself. All my nieces and nephews and siblings is going to have a real rough wake-up alarm in 2019 from their good old uncle because I love them. Because the problem is what I see for you so much bigger than what you see for yourself. You stuck right here, but I see you over there, and I get frustrated with you because you the dog laying on the bed of nails, and you're not getting up, but you're not gonna cry. So here's my thing: if you're gonna be in my life in 2019 and thereafter, and you decide to lay on a bed of nails, shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. Put a smile on your face. What if he beats you? Get some good concealer. Yeah, I can hear the abuse hotline people now. You telling people get some good concealer. Come for me. Don't complain. Don't, you know what I mean?
All I'm
Whatever,
saying is,
because you're on the bed and you are the only one that can get you up. Here's when Uncle Jay from the red, whatever, here's when I'll help you. When you start getting up and one of the nails get embedded and you can't, see, but you got to start making the effort to get up yourself. I'm not coming to your bed. And I will not listen to you cry. So if you want to be put out my life, keep hollering about something you don't want to change. Keep hollering about something you refuse to change. Keep blaming people for your decisions. Keep on, because what I'm going to be is I'm going to clean up real good. I'm going to let this little light of mine shine. I'm going to be a real good mirror. Let me show you. Because that's what let me tell you the truth. And if you don't want the truth, because one thing, Kiki, I've learned from another set. I learned in California, Sister Brittany, don't give unsolicited advice. Very rarely will I solicit my advice, and they didn't ask for it. The only time I give them warning is if I see it's not going to end well. I have a brother that's in prison. His name is Tevin. And he wrote me a letter, and I love his letter. And he's been asking me to talk, to respond to him. I can't. I can't because the last time he was here, I broke my rule. And I gave him unsolicited advice based on what I knew would happen. Sure enough, he got on that airplane, bus, whatever, went back to California, went back to the same people, same hood, same gangs, and the end result is thereof. I can't talk to you, not because I don't love you, not because I judge you, but because I'm hurt. Sometimes you can hurt me so bad that I can't talk because I am naturally an introvert. I'm an introvert with an extrovert personality. So just because I got a big person don't mean that I'm not an introvert. So that experience, you know what I mean? And I'm rapping. We way over.
No, don't worry about that. No, I get it because I'm an introvert too. When somebody hurts me, I just shut down.
Yeah.
I literally shut down. I don't say nothing. It's just, I have to, I guess.
Process. You take it in.
Process it. Yeah, process.
Take it in.
Yeah.
And then the part that amazes me, I told my family, I said 2 months before my grandfather passed, God told me he would. I was in the shower, and Granny and Papa went away for Thanksgiving, or something else. Because Thanksgiving was the last time, but they went away for something else. And when they went away, Papa wasn't in service. And every time I preach, Papa said, son, you did good, but the next time you need to. And so I felt, and I was going to call Papa and tell him, watch my video and tell me what you think. And the Holy Ghost said, that's not his job. I am the one that's supposed to validate you. I'm the one. And he said, and get ready, because in a minute, he's not going to be here. What are you going to do? And I just kind of brushed that thought off, because I thought, all this new age stuff is for negative thoughts in the atmosphere. The Holy Ghost said, no, in a little while, he's not going to be here. He's 84 years old. That's how I ended up in the doctor. My car got totaled, and the Holy Ghost had already been working on me about it. Why you didn't ask Papa to take me? Papa is 84 years old. He doesn't need to be fighting downtown traffic, trying to take me. You understand what I'm saying? That's why. I'll be sick, but you're 84. My time is not up yet, but you don't need to be traveling the road like this. You don't need to be. You understand what I'm saying? So slay me, I'll get up again. But you're, okay, so he said, it's not, you better get ready. You know what? I didn't want to hear it. But I cried in that shower because he would not let it go. It was like an issue he kept pressing. And I cried for the last 2 months. Every time Kiki looked, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? My mom, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? I've drawn away. I stay in because I introvert. What's wrong? Well, nothing. I knew. Which is why when it happened, I was able to preach his eulogy. Because I had already prepared. I lost it when we were at the cemetery because I missed him. You see what I'm saying? I missed him. But what happens in life is if you don't learn to listen to that inner voice and let it tell you something, if you don't learn how to shut up and get away, single people look like they live the best lives, but the reason why they stay so busy because they don't want to deal with the fact they're lonely. I told one of my sisters, you need to learn to be by yourself. She ain't never come back since I said that. Ever since then, I said, you go from relationship to relationship to relationship. I said, you ain't never been single. You've never been single. You've always been getting a man, having a man, and letting the man go and getting another one. How about you spend a year by yourself? I told her, go to dinner by yourself. Take yourself to the movies. Love on yourself. Figure out what you want. Figure out what you like. Figure out what makes you smile. She didn't like that. She respected me too much to tell me to shut up. But hated me after I closed my mouth. Be angry with me now, but you're going to love me later. And literally has not shown up in my life again because the truth, you got to learn to deal with you. And if someone loves you enough to tell you about you risking a relationship, don't walk away from that relationship blaming the person for the truth, because telling the truth is a risk. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's risky.
And that's something I'm learning too, like you said. When you get in a space by yourself, learning to hear from God, learning to really hear yourself.
Learning how God speaks to you.
Same instance with Pawpaw. I told Jay, I said, not that I was playing before, but really learning to listen. Mm-hmm. Like he said, I brushed it off. And then I said, later. And I'm glad I told Jay, what I heard before it happened, for confirmation to say, oh, you ain't just saying it now. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad I had told Jay. And so now it's like, okay, I done heard something. What that mean? I need to check on that. I need to.
And so at the end of the day, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to continue to be a fool. Because to do the same thing and expecting different results makes you stupid. That's the way Mama Hess will say. Mama Hess said that ain't insane.
That's stupid.
That's stupid. Because insane people switch it up a bit. But you just plain stupid.
You playing
that you keep putting the
oranges.
Same input, expecting a different output. That say orange seed on the package. How the hell you hoped for apples? You didn't walk past the apple seeds? When you was in the seed section, didn't know parts of you, but pick up them apple seeds. So you understood enough about planting to know that if you put something in the ground, that something was going to come up, but you too stupid to know that the seeds you put in the ground is what's going to come.
And really mad you don't got no
Wait
apples.
Wait a minute. Negro, you was really wishing for I always get in trouble for laughing. Because at first I think you playing. Oh, you was really hoping for apples? Oh, I didn't know you was that kind of fool. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't. Oh, you expected him to stop cheating? Oh, I didn't know you was that kind of fool. Oh, you expect her to stop? I didn't know.
Oh, y'all on your third child, and you thought he was going to take care of this one now.
Oh, I didn't know you was that kind of fool. I didn't know. You stupid. What I don't want, for the lack of crudeness, is for you to go into 2019 and continue to be people's fool or a fool for yourself. And just because there's a lot of people around you, just because there's a lot of people laughing, don't mean they laughing with you. A lot of times they're laughing at you. Don't ever be the cause of other people's entertainment. They're watching the saga of your life.
And you making it easy. You posting it.
That's why I don't like social media. Because there are areas of my life that are private. I will let you know what I want you to know. But you will never go the whole day with me. I'm going to wake up in the morning talking to you. Sit on the toilet talking to you. Eating my lunch talking to you. Y'all ain't even real. Y'all ain't real. I'm sitting all this time on the radio talking, but I don't see you. The only thing I feel is the pull.
You talking to me.
No, I know. But the only thing I feel is the pull from people. You know, I can feel people pulling on me. I can feel issues pulling on me. But I don't, that's a feeling. Feelings aren't real. You understand what I'm saying? They pass. They change. I could be wrong. You ain't real. So don't allow people to use you.
He ain't going, oh, Deborah in Kentucky right now.
Yeah. You know, I'm not that kind of prophet. No, I'm not that. If you need somebody to tell you your address and, you know, the dress you wore at 59th Street School on your secondary kindergarten, find another sucker. And I'm finna tell you right now, he finna take all your money. Because he's telling you that to bring you to a place. If you do that in the right space and time, it will cause someone to marvel at God. But when you do it out of selfish gain, you're going to ask for an offering. Let me tell you something. The reason why I don't do that is because God knows your address. He knows the numbers of hairs on your head. He knows the hairs you started with and the hairs you're going to end with and the hairs you currently have now. He knows what's weave and what's yours, what's permed, what's pressed, and what's natural. He know. So we got to get to a place whereby we're comfortable enough to say, God knows. He's in control. He's ruling my life like he's ruling the earth. And either I'm going to break myself on the rock or the rock going to fall on me. And I ain't trying to be, you ain't finna dog me out.
And either you can go along for the ride or you can jump out while it's moving, but it's going to go regardless.
And then the bad part about it is because of the way the will of the Lord works, you can exercise your will to not be in the car, but the car going to drag you. That's the way the will of the Lord works. Now, you have choice. You can choose to get in the car. You can choose to get out the car. You have choice. But you're going to make it to the destination. Should you choose to jump out the car in the middle of the road, you might not want to do that. One time I was thinking about committing suicide. In California, there's this place when you come up Ladera Heights. It's off La Tijera, where it's an oil mine, and it's a big, big mountain. And if you pick up enough speed, I knew that if I picked up enough speed and I could just go off the side of the cliff and just end it. Just go out, right? And the Holy Ghost said to me, he said, do it. You'll wake up tomorrow paralyzed. And I just started crying. Because I'm like, I can't even. Another time when I moved to Georgia, I said, I'm going to take all these pills. I'm going to go to sleep. Holy Ghost said,
go ahead.
Do it. Only thing they're going to do is pump your stomach. Do it. I want you to. Because you're not going to get off this ride until you get to your destination. You don't die because you die when you're finished. The question is, will you have maximized your journey? And will you die empty? We carry too much baggage. We carry too much stuff. We bring in too much. And so listen, yeah, kids' bags, like come bag lady.
Everybody do say the best, yeah. Bag lady. You gonna break your back carrying all that stuff.
You know what I mean? You dragging too much. Like come on, pick a few things and keep on moving. But you can't take the whole. So, as we close this year, I want to say to all of us, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. I want to say prophetically to an issue in your life that you don't have the strength to say to yourself, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let what belongs to God go back to God. What belongs to earth, go back to the earth. And may your soul rest in peace. What belonged in that marriage, what God ordained, give God the glory. What the person took with them, but let your soul rest in peace after the divorce. What the business gave, to God be the glory. What left when it folded, let it go. But may you rest in peace where you are. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Because death in any of those aspects is nothing more than a door to another side of your life. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Encounter Radio Show today. You guys have been more than awesome. You guys have been more than amazing. It has been so important that I continue coming. I had to press my way to be on this last show of this year in spite of feelings and family and good food and fellowship. Cousins I ain't seen, and I know they telling stories and eating, and but one thing that I want Misfits Radio to know about me is character matters, integrity matters, and I see beyond where we are now. You understand? I see beyond where we are now. And so in seeing beyond where we are now, when we are going to be paid to be on this radio station, I don't ever want it to be I was integral. I showed up. I put in the work. So, yeah, I'm a Misfits Radio. Yeah. Spokesperson. Yeah, I'll go to the Stellars for you. Yeah, I'll go to the Gospel Awards. Yeah, I'll go. Because
that's the hardest thing people have is seeing the vision.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, I quit every day, but I feel something.
Yeah.
So I got to keep pushing on.
And it's what you see so vividly that makes you and it's the thing that won't die. Here's how you know it's God. I know I keep trying to end. Here's how you know it's God. When you try to kill it, but it won't die. That's how you know it's God. Oh Jesus, there's somebody that I know that they tried to abort, like literally went through the process, like drank the drink back in the day, fell down the steps, did everything that they could do to terminate that pregnancy, but they wouldn't die. There was nothing that they could do to make that fetus let go of that lining. They would not die because what God has ordained to live can't nobody kill. Not even you. Okay. Amen, Walls. You understand? Not even you can kill what God has ordained to live. Your mistakes can't do it. Your past can't do it. Your decisions cannot. But listen, it won't kill it, but it'll change how you experience it.
Yes.
Don't alter an experience because you keep fighting the process. You see what I'm saying? Like, you keep fighting so you've altered the process. You delayed, you quit. What if you just shut it down, right? Just shut everything down. Pawned your computers, pawned your cameras, put everything up for sale, wrapped it up. Do you realize 5 years later you're going to be back here? Repurchasing equipment, finding hosts. The grind is going to start all over again because it's something. My mom in Club Excel, my mom wrote that vision when I was about maybe 12 years old. She had the vision from when she was a little girl, but the first time I saw it, I was 12 years old. We tried everything we could. We had events. We had, in California, nothing really hit, so we quit. Lo and behold, we moved to Georgia. And what come back up? I was 12. I came to Georgia, I probably like 22. You see all that time? Where I end back up at the same vision we walked away from. And this is how God makes all things work together. All of those experiences that I had, this is why when I say God loves you, he doesn't allow. Because if we started the business then, and he would have allowed us to be successful then, we wouldn't know nothing. We didn't know nothing. I wasn't a teacher. I had no experience in the school system. I never taught nobody. I was a struggling student myself. But when we started again, I've been teaching for 12 years. So he gave us what we could manage in our time. When God loves you, he'll limit you because he wants your success, your blessing to remain. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. Do not despise the days of sacrifice. Do not despise the days of rejection, because they will reject you now. They're going to send for you later. So don't let that make you quit. You let that make you quit, then just go on. Be prepared to eat crow. Because the very thing that you said, you quit, you done, you finna, you ain't. Watch. Here we is. I love you all. May you have a blessed and prosperous new year. Y'all be safe.
Listen.
If you whatever you gonna do it with modesty. And listen, it's all right. The Bible say you can drink, don't get drunk. So you do you a New Year's whatever, but if you do feel yourself feeling a little, spinny, based on my own experiences and experiences I would never want nobody to have, please call a Uber or a Lyft or just sleep on the bench. Find you a spot in a nightclub and just curl up in a ball. You know what I mean? And go sleep in a car. Put your wallet in your drawers. Ball up and go to sleep. Sleep it off, because they ain't going to close till 6 o'clock in the morning anyway. Come on home in the morning. It'll be all right. You see what I'm like? Don't do that. Be safe. If you going to screw in your New Year's, put some rubber on, or you going to get a shock. You heard me?
All right. Well,
do something.
Listen.
Protect your. I'm spiritual and practical. And everybody has not made the decision to make Jesus their own. Just because you're listening doesn't mean that you've made a decision to live the life. So until you come to a place to make that decision, I'd rather you make that decision healthy and whole than broken and sick. So send a man, get a condom. Get the condom that fits you. Don't buy a Magnum and you can do with a lifestyle. A Durex will do you just fine. Don't think no more highly of yourself than you ought to, sir.
Hey, that's why y'all listen to this show. He a pastor and a prophet, but he is practical, and he going to tell you in layman's terms. And we love him for it. All right.
And remember, it ain't supposed to be no L. Yeah. That's how you know,
right?
If it ain't
just a little bit at the end. Now, I had nephews. I had to teach all of them something because they was going to college. Just a little at the end to catch what you gonna release. You understand what I'm saying? And I done already told you that the condom caught the natural. It didn't catch the spiritual. So deal with that. But ain't no need in you burning. And look, cut the lights on. Because I already done told you now, syphilis don't come from fluids. It come from I done told you. Now, exercise some wisdom and be safe.
Listen, dang it, Jay. All right. Your condition is not your conclusion, okay? Like my grandmama say, each day is a new beginning in which we try to do our best. If you take the first step forward, God will surely do the rest. Yes. As you make these resolutions for yourself and what you plan on doing, remember to be practical.
Yes.
Put forth an effort.
Yes.
That's a vigorous and determined attempt.
Yes.
Okay. Remember that God is with you.
Yes.
Okay, we're sending our love and traveling mercies to those coming in and going.
Yes.
For these holidays.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And after you get finished, just sit somewhere by yourself. It's all right to be quiet.
And as you be quiet, remember, healing is not linear. I seen that somewhere.
Okay, now, hold on. We always do this. We be on Facebook. People talk about, turn the camera. I'm not operating this camera. I sit this camera down for people that want to come and, log on via Facebook, listen, leave, and linger. If you would like to view the full studio and view it all, you need to log on to YouTube or go to misfitsmediagroup.net. If you're listening to us via Stitcher, via anything else, you're kind of catching not the podcast. You kind of get like a rebroadcast kind of type thing. You're not getting it live. What my Facebook friends are getting is they're getting my live feed. Praise ye the Lord. My Aunt Delta made me realize that I wasn't saying that. You know what I mean? So now, thank you, Aunt Delta. We've said it. If you want to see the whole set, do what you need to do. YouTube, Misfits Media Group. We live stream there every Sunday from 11 to 1. And listen, I'm so grateful and honored to be in this seat. And what man meant for evil, I'm so glad God turned it around for my good. You're listening to the Encounter Radio Show or Misfits Radio, and we're powered by
Live 365. We on GooglePlay, SoundCloud, YouTube, Periscope. Soon we'll be on Pandora. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio. What else do I miss? Mixcloud. That's also SoundCloud. Yeah, they different, but they both there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
right.
We're going to have some more soon. Don't worry. It's going down.
Right. Why you didn't hear me? All right.
Okay. Love you guys. Be safe.
God be with you. Bye.
Come on, everybody. Get your feet happy. Let's